ICSE arena is an ever-evolving space where staying up to date becomes as crucial as maintaining a thorough preparation. With strategic planning and holistic coverage for exam syllabus, Vision IAS Delhi presents GS Foundation course. Avail analysis and integration of current affairs with GS syllabus. All India test series with an innovative assessment system, inculcating post-test analysis, discussion, all India ranking, and more. Explore the holistic learning modules intrinsically designed for the ideal aspirant.
Good morning to everyone. I hope I'm audible. So my name is Smriti Shah. I am a faculty of Indian Society, Social Justice, Essay, Ethics with Vision IAS. And this is my 15th year. In 2009, I started my journey of UPSC as an aspirant. And in 2012, I embarked upon this journey in the capacity of a mentor, then teacher, and so on. So based on my experience of 15 years, I am here to share some insights with you. As it is being said, life is too short to learn from your own mistakes. So let's learn from the mistakes of others. Okay? So on this note, I am assuming that if you guys are attending this session, then that is because you are preparing for this examination. Now this examination, people do say it is the toughest examination of this country. We would not deny that, but then it is not impossible to clear this examination. It is very much within the reach, provided we have right kind of strategy. So for that, we are here basically to help you how to strategize your preparation as far as different subjects are concerned. There is this one quote of Albert Einstein, which is like very close to my heart because I genuinely believe in this. And which says that one should learn the rules of the game and then you have to play it better than everyone else. This examination is not about how good you are. It is also about how better you are as compared to others. As it has been very famously said, know yourself and know your enemies even better. Then you will not be defeated even in 100 battles. So this is the session to basically prepare you with that. Is that very clear? So now, before we start with the session, I'm just asking, do we have the brief clarity that there are 3 stages in this examination? And you have to clear all the 3 stages, prelims, mains, personality test in one go. If unfortunately you falter at any one of the stage, you have to repeat the cycle. So the process is, and this is the first thing which I wanted to tell, and the second aspect of it is, I think you might have heard people saying that the most unpredictable or the difficult stage is the stage of prelims. That's because the competition level is very high. You have lakhs of students who are appearing for prelims, but there are only few thousands who clear it. So maybe it is not exactly the level of the questions which are asked, it is the competition or the discrepancy in number of students writing prelims and number of students getting shortlisted for stage of mains, which adds to the difficulty level of this stage. And that is why I say that the year you clear your prelims should be the year that your name is in the list. Because there is no guarantee that the next year we would be clearing our prelims. So the year you are clearing your prelims means that please work so hard that your name is in the final list. So what I'm trying to tell you here is that whenever, whichever year you are planning to write your prelims, make sure you are mains ready. If you write your prelims, you clear the prelims good enough for you, but you're not prepared for mains, the purpose is defeated. Or usme you will further add to the problems, because for next 3 months, although you're not prepared for mains, but you have to write your mains. So in those 3 months, you will try every possible thing to write the mains. But to be very honest, very rarely it happens that you clear that stage if you're not prepared for it. And then there would always be a hope. What if I clear? It's a subjective thing. There is no objective criteria. So till December, you will be hopeful. What if I'm clearing the mains? What if I'm clearing the mains? In that process, you actually end up wasting 6 months. Because to be very honest, December ka result will not be in the favor if you have not been prepared properly for your mains. And then the pressure of clearing prelims next year would start from January. Again, you might end up clearing prelims, but then again, you are not prepared for mains. So you will be trapped in that vicious cycle where you only end up clearing prelims without clearing your mains and making in the final list. That is why it is a heartfelt request, and this is the best time. In case you are preparing for 2025, then this is the best time. And even if you're preparing for 2026, you should start your journey from the mains perspective, and over a period of time, you will gradually see that you are prepared for prelims also. There is no specific preparation that prelims and mains have to be compartmentalized. The only difference is in the term of the subjects, because there are many subjects which are not asked in prelims. For example, essay, ethics, governance, Indian society, social justice, security. These are very mains, optional. These are very main specific topics. So here we are basically to discuss the strategy as far as Indian society and social justice are concerned. Is this clear? Now, since we have to be mains ready, I can say it with certainty without any doubt in my mind. There are 3 main papers. One is your optional, second is ethics, third is essay. If you nail these 3 papers, only then there is a possibility that you would be qualifying for personality test. Is it clear? But to nail these papers, you have to make sure that there is basic minimum you are scoring in GS paper 1, 2 and 3. And one of the major component of your GS paper 1, have you gone through the syllabus? GS paper 1, 2, 3, 4 and essay. GS paper 1 is the paper where you find Indian society, and GS paper 2 is the section where you will find social justice. Is this very clear? Okay. Now to begin with, since we are dealing with the section of Indian society and social justice, a very brief question. Why do you think UPSC is interested that you guys should prepare Indian society? Huh? So you are going to administer the country, and for that it is important that you should be aware about the nuances of your own society. Very well said. Anything else? Absolutely. Developing a perspective. How would that unique perspective help you? Absolutely, yes. Developing a perspective is very much important, not because your understanding would be widened, but also you would have the capacity to make right kind of decisions. I'll give you a very brief example to make you understand what I'm just trying to say. Have you heard about a concept called migration? Even if you've not studied, everyone knows about migration. I think most of you are migrants. So migration is moving from one place to another. So that's migration. Okay. Have you heard about a concept called slums? Is everyone aware what are slums and everything? Okay. So now there is one section of society which says migration is root cause of proliferation of slums. Will you agree to that? We'll agree. So what could be the solution? Control migration. If migration is the root cause of slum proliferation, then control your migration. Okay. Have you heard something about constitution? Have you studied something? Do you have the constitutional right to migrate? Provided there is no reasonable restrictions. Okay. So then how can you control migration? Because you have the constitutional right to migrate. So in that context, I say it is very important to develop a perspective that migration is not the problem. It is the skewed migration. Skewed matlab a particular directional migration where people are migrating only to a certain place, or let us say very rapid migration, or let us say lack of proper development in the destination areas which can absorb the migrant population is actually the factors responsible for slum proliferation. So migration is not the root cause. There are other factors associated with it which is the root cause of proliferation of slums. And how do you develop this? Only when you have a perspective. Let me tell you one thing very clearly. UPSC is very different, and especially the pattern has changed. They are not asking you direct questions. It requires a lot of analytical skills. I'll give you a very basic example. Is everyone aware about COVID? Obviously. Is everyone aware that what changes COVID has brought about in our society? Okay. Can I say one of the changes brought about by COVID was the change in the work culture? Work from home culture developed. Is everyone aware? Itna to sabko pata hai. theek hai. Is everyone aware there is something called families? Joint family, nuclear family, whatever, there are families. Now, these are isolated concepts which everyone knows. People know what is COVID. They know what are the after effects of COVID. They know what might be work from home. They might be knowing what is a family, what are different kinds of family relationship. UPSC is not asking this. UPSC is asking, discuss the impact of work from home on family relationships. And you can never predict these questions. At max, I can teach you work from home culture. I can teach you families. I can teach you different relationships which are existing in the family. But how can I predict that UPSC will ask work from home on family relationships? Did you get my point? For example, I'll again give you another example. Is everyone aware about sects? S-E-C-T-S, sects. हम पढ़ते हैं ना sect और cult. In every religion you have sects. ठीक है? So जैसे Christianity में Protestants and Catholics. Similarly, Islam में Shia, Sunni. These are nothing but sects. I can teach you what is a sect. I can teach you characteristic feature of a sect. I can also teach you the factors responsible for growth of sect. But UPSC ऐसे थोड़ी ना पूछता है. UPSC पूछेगा what is the significance of sect vis-a-vis religion, caste, region. So whatever content we have taught you, from there only you will get the fodder. But what is supposed to be written in the exam and how it is supposed to be written in the exam, that will come only when you have a critical thinking. You have a thought process. You have a well-developed perspective. So it is very important that when you are preparing for this topic, you should have an understanding, first and foremost, why am I supposed to prepare this topic? So please keep it in mind that since you are going to administer, as he has very rightly pointed out, since you are going to administer Indian society, you should be aware about the nuances. As he has very rightly pointed out that you have to have a unique perspective. Now let us say I have a unique perspective. I am aware about the nuances. Definitely there are some problems in the society. You are going to be the administrator. You have to give me the best possible solution for those problems. So next time, whenever you read any article in the newspaper, whenever you come across any situation which is happening around you, not necessarily even in the newspaper, I'm just giving you a basic example. Are you aware that people are getting obsessed with mobile phones? There's some kind of addiction which is taking place. Even the kids are also getting addicted to mobile phones. So have you noticed the relation between parents and kids are undergoing a change? There is something called iPad parenting which is emerging. बच्चा नहीं खा रहा, iPad पे कार्टून दिखा दो, बच्चा खाने लग जाएगा. आपको कुछ काम करना है, फोन पकड़ा दो, बच्चा उसमें बिजी हो जाएगा. आपको शॉपिंग पे जाना है, आपने बाहर एक चेयर या काउच पे बच्चे को फोन के साथ बिठा दिया so that you can. I'm just giving you an example. Are we all noticing this? This is a basic observation. Now UPSC asked the question, child cuddling has been replaced by mobile phones. What is the impact on socialization of children? I can tell you what is socialization. I can tell you role of parents in socialization. I can tell you how mobile phones has brought about some changes in the relationship. But I can never predict the exact question which UPSC is going to ask. So what I'm just trying to tell you here is please develop those analytical skills. Come out of that sphere of rote learning. That period has gone. Rote learning will not take you to places. Try to understand the concept. Try to apply the concept. Try to give yourself some time. Observe what is happening around and then try to prepare the content. It will make your journey easy. It will become fun. जब आपको वो analytical skills develop हो जाती है ना, you start enjoying the process of preparation. Till the time you don't develop that skill, it seems as a burden. कि बहुत पढ़ना है, ये याद करना है, ये याद करना है, ये याद करते तो वो भूल जाते हैं, वो याद करते तो कुछ और भूल जाते हैं. तो stop taking this preparation as a burden. Start taking it as a process. Is that very clear? ठीक है. Now, to begin with, we will be talking about why, what, and how. Standard rule. Any section that you prepare, even if you're preparing on your own, why Indian society, what in Indian society, and how in Indian society. Now, why Indian society, one of the aspects we have already discussed was the relevance, as in why we are studying, to develop a perspective, nuances, and the solutions to the problem. Another most important aspect, if you ask me, I am very business-minded person. If any subject or a section is not giving much value to my preparation, I would not be giving a lot of focus on that. So if I look at Indian society, I'm only talking about GS paper 1. That's the weightage which is being given to this section. This year, it was 90 marks which was asked from this paper. And to be very precise, 90 bhi wo isliye tha because one or two questions we have put in the ambit of geography. Because there was a very thin line between human geography and Indian society. That was the only thing. Otherwise, this year, 9 questions were asked from Indian society. Approximately 110 marks was asked from Indian society, which is good enough. Are we aware GS paper, all the 4 papers, 250 marks each? And then you have an essay paper. So total the calculation is 1250. Us 1250 mein 90 marks is Indian society. That is directly asked in GS paper 1. Then you have a section of social justice, which is approximately 40 to 50 marks, which is asked in GS paper 2. So together, can you see that it is hovering around 120 to 140 marks just from Indian society and social justice. So that is the amount of weightage which is riding on this particular paper. But it is not just about GS paper 1 and GS paper 2. This section of Indian society has a lot of relevance even for GS paper 4. What is GS paper 4? Ethics. Now, ethics is standards of right and wrong at a collective level. So, if you do not understand the nuances of society, where will you apply ethics? So, if your Indian society is not properly prepared, the chances of getting good marks in GS paper 4 would be slightly less. So they are linked to each other. For example, in GS paper 4, once they ask the question, despite increase in legal provisions, violence against women is on the rise. Actually, where do you study this question? Society. But where did they ask the question? Ethics. Similarly, the question I gave you a few minutes back, child cuddling is replaced by mobile phones. What is the impact on the process of socialization? Socialization you study in ethics. But the question was asked in GS paper 1. What I'm trying to say is there exists what is known as interdisciplinary approach. So if you do not nail the foundation, that is society, nailing the paper of ethics would become a challenge. Third most important aspect, we have 250 marks of essay paper. There are 2 sections, each essay 125 marks. Now there can be 3 things. One, all issue-based essays as it used to be asked in the past. All philosophical essays which they were asking few years back. For past 2 years, it's a combination of issue and philosophical. Now, if it is an issue-based essay, समझते ना patriarchy, education, social justice, you will at least get 1 to 2 topics from social issues. ऐसा हो नहीं सकता कि poverty, अगर issue-based है, तो poverty हो गया, education हो गया, health हो गया, women हो गया. These are मतलब basic themes on which UPSC is asking the essays. So 125 marks in case they ask you the issue-based essay. And let us assume the scenario where all 8 topics are philosophical. You cannot give examples in philosophical essays if your Indian society is not prepared. Example दोगे कहाँ से? Is it making sense? So if I do the calculation, so then it is GS paper 1, 2 combined, let us say 125 marks. Then you have approximately 125 marks of essay, which makes it 250. Then there is some contribution which is being made in GS paper 4. And in case you have optionals like sociology, anthropology, then it can come very handy there as well. But then finally, it is personality test. Interview stage. Now let us suppose you belong to some XY reason. What kind of questions are asked in the interview? Highlight some 5 problems from your areas. How you intend to resolve those problems. You would be mentioning the social problems. So you have to be prepared with the social problems. You have to be prepared with the solution. You have to be prepared with the data. So in every which capacity, this section will come to your rescue if you have a genuine intention of clearing this examination. But having said that, it's not just about the relevance or the weightage of the marks or the significance. The best thing what I like about this paper is with minimum efforts, you get maximum results. If you look at the syllabus, it is very clearly defined. If you look at the number of classes, let us say you have joined some foundation batch, okay? So in that case also at max 25 lectures, at max, both Indian society and social justice is done. So with an investment of 20 to 25 lectures, you can gain advantage up till 250 marks in your mains. This section is worth your investment of time. Is it making sense for everyone? The second aspect is that what needs to be studied. The first thing, which I think most of us do make a mistake, I have done during my preparation. When you join some coaching institute, let us suppose XYZ Institute, we become completely dependent on them. We think that since we have paid the fee, now it is their responsibility to make us clear the exam. Without realizing it's our life, it's our future, it's our dream to clear the exam. Their work is only to facilitate us. Their work is only to guide us in the right direction. They can't write the exam on our behalf. So what happens is we forget to see the basic thing, that is the syllabus. So if you look at the syllabus, this is the complete syllabus of Indian society. And the syllabus with respect to every section should be on your tips. Now when I look at the syllabus, salient feature of Indian society, role of women and women organization, effect of globalization on Indian society, empowerment in social capacity, communalism, regionalism, secularism, population associated issues, urbanization, poverty and developmental issues. देखा जाए तो clearly specified है, ठीक है, अब बस इसके बाद यू हैव टू डू जस्ट वन थिंग, मैं एक टॉपिक पे करके दिखा दूंगी so that you should have an idea. This session is basically with respect to two set of students, one who would be joining the foundation batch, who have already joined, or with respect to those who are preparing on their own. So even if you're preparing on your own, this will help you to understand that this is how the syllabus looks like. What you need to further do is deconstruction of syllabus. Topic is saying population and associated issues. How would you know in what capacity it needs to be prepared? So let's take this example. Make this flow chart. You'll understand what I'm trying to say. Let us suppose the topic is population and associated issues. Let's say we start with debate with respect to high population growth in India, which defines either it will be a liability or let us say it will be an asset. It can be an asset provided it becomes a human capital. So with respect to human capital, what is the concept? What is the current status? What are the government efforts? What is the prospect of developing human capital? What are the lacunas in government effort? And what needs to be done? Whenever we study population, we need to talk about its demography. So then what is the concept of demography? What are the types of demography? And the most famous concept these days, what is the concept of demographic dividend? Now, population is constantly changing. So factors affecting population change. There are three factors. You have fertility, you have mortality, and you have migration. With respect to high population and to control it, over the years, we have different types of population policies. So what is the concept? How it has evolved over a period of time, analysis, to what extent it has been successful, and what needs to be done. Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you here is? Syllabus में क्या था? Population and associated issues. उसमें कहीं पे भी mentioned है migration, demographic dividend, human capital, population policy. This is what is known as deconstruction of the syllabus. So with respect to every topic in your syllabus, you have to do the deconstruction. It will automatically open the ambit of your preparation and you will not be left with any question which UPSC might ask. Is it making sense for everyone? It can further be deconstructed. Just to give you an example. This topic of migration in itself is a very important topic. What is the concept of migration? What is the data with respect to migration? What are different types of migration? What are causes of migration? What are consequences of migration? Consequences with respect to source region, destination region, with respect to migrants. What have been the government efforts? And what should be the way forward? because you can get a question on migration. So this is how deconstruction has to be done. Now you must be wondering कि ये कैसे होगा? खुद आ जाता है over a period of time. When you start preparing, so where do I, मतलब someone would have given me the idea कि ये कैसे करना है, ठीक है? So beginning में क्या था? I did not had that reference point. क्योंकि 2013 में the syllabus got changed and it was new for all of us. You are not facing the same problem. You have 11 years of reference point. So the best reference point to clear this or to create this deconstructed aspect is your PYQs. PYQs will give you the insight that in what capacity the topic needs to be deconstructed. Is this very clear? तो ये बस मैं आपको एक example देके समझा रही थी, but did you understand that how the syllabus has to be prepared? And if you prepare it like this, I can vouch, there cannot be a single question which you cannot answer. It may not be the direct question which you have not prepared, but ये नहीं होगा that you just don't know what to write in that answer. Is it making sense? Can we proceed further? ठीक है. So the first thing that you are supposed to do is the deconstruction of syllabus. Once the deconstruction takes place, then we are going through the PYQs. Now the problem is, I'll tell you, I have done the same mistakes and I have seen many of us make or repeat the same mistake. We always have a belief, that was the belief which I always carried with me, let me finish the syllabus and then I will attempt the PYQ. Because that's how you do now, you finish the chapter and then you try to solve the question. We will just overturn the strategy as far as UPSC is concerned. First, look at the syllabus, then look at the PYQs and see what kind of questions UPSC is asking. And then based on that, you prepare your syllabus. नहीं तो वो क्या होता है, वो हम नहीं बोलते अंधेरे में तीर चलाने वाली बात हो जाएगी. आप तो अपनी जान में बहुत पढ़ाई कर रहे हो. And I'll tell you what happens in this examination. This examination, the major problem is boredom. Because the process is too long. When you come for preparing for this examination, everyone is very excited, okay, बस अब करना है 10-12 घंटे, क्योंकि बहुत हो सकता है पहले पढ़ा ना हो तो अब लगता है कि नहीं अब कुछ करके दिखाना है, and everything is there. You start studying for 12 hours, 13 hours, very diligently coming to classes, making all the notes, making notes के भी सब notes. जैसे आप लक्ष्मीकांत पढ़ रहे हो, फिर उसके भी नोट्स बना रहे हो, न्यूज़पेपर के रोज नोट्स बन रहे हैं, 2-2 घंटे लग रहे हैं, तो शुरू के 2-3 महीने वो चलेगा. उसके बाद आप एक बार डाउट आएगा, ये हो भी पा रहा है या नहीं. फिर आप सोचोगे नहीं इतना करने आए हैं, पैसा भी दे दिया है कोचिंग में, तो थोड़ा और खींचोगे 6-7 महीने तक. फिर एक दिवाली ब्रेक टाइप आएगा और फिर आप सोचो कि चलो घर चलते हैं, ब्रेक लेकर आते हैं. फिर ब्रेक लेके वापस आना मुश्किल हो जाता है. इसलिए नहीं कि आ नहीं पा रहे हो, इसलिए क्योंकि आना नहीं चाह रहे हो, क्योंकि डर लग रहा है कि वापस उस कमरे में बैठ के बहुत ज़्यादा पढ़ाई करनी पड़ेगी. तो इतना क्यों स्ट्रेस ले रहे हो? इतना नहीं करना है, ठीक है. जस्ट मेक राइट स्ट्रैटेजी एंड डू इट ऑन अ वेरी कंसिस्टेंट बेसिस. अननेसेसरली 2 घंटे के न्यूज़पेपर के नोट्स बनाने, एंड ट्रस्ट मी वो नोट्स कभी खुद ही नहीं देखोगे. तो उतने नोट्स बनाओ जितने जरूरी हैं. और नोट्स पहले दिन नहीं बनते, पहले पता तो हो कि क्या पूछा जा रहा है. आप नोट्स बना किस चीज के रहे हो, थोड़ी देर में आपको रियलाइज होगा आप एग्जैक्टली कॉपी कर रहे हो. तो फर्स्ट एटलीस्ट नो व्हाट यूपीएससी इज आस्किंग, एंड हाउ वुड यू नो व्हाट यूपीएससी इज आस्किंग? ओनली व्हेन यू सी द PYQs. So if you look at the PYQs, you would know that what are the recent trends. Not only the recent trends, what PYQ tells me is the nature of the questions. For example, with respect to the nature of question, whether it is a static question, it is applied question, or it is the combination of two. What kind of, जैसे मैंने जब सोसाइटी के क्वेश्चंस इतने सालों में देखे, आई कैन से विद सर्टेनिटी कि वो बहुत ज्यादा कॉन्टेम्पररी क्वेश्चन नहीं पूछते. अगर कॉन्टेम्पररी कोई सिचुएशन पे पूछ भी रहे हैं, दे विल आस्क यू द कॉन्सेप्चुअल क्वेश्चन. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, देर इज सम प्रॉब्लम एसोसिएटेड विद अर्बनाइजेशन, कोई रिसेंट इंसिडेंट हुआ, दे विल नॉट आस्क यू द क्वेश्चन ऑन दैट इंसिडेंट, दे विल आस्क यू व्हाट आर द सोशल प्रॉब्लम्स एसोसिएटेड विद अर्बनाइजेशन. Did you get the point? So they are not, for example, violence against women is happening. They would not ask you the question on particular incident of violence. They will in general ask you that what are the factors responsible for violence against women. For example, there have been issues, let us say, do we understand the concept's role of caste in politics? इतना हम ऑब्जर्व करते हैं ना कि पॉलिटिक्स में द रोल ऑफ कास्ट इज देयर, ठीक है. सो नाउ दे विल आस्क यू नॉट एग्जैक्टली व्हाट इज द रोल ऑफ कास्ट इन पॉलिटिक्स और एक पर्टिकुलर इलेक्शन पे सवाल ऐसे नहीं पूछेंगे. वो इन जनरल आपसे पूछ लेंगे दैट टू व्हाट एक्सटेंट कास्ट हैज अंडरवेंट अ चेंज इन कॉन्टेक्स्ट ऑफ इंडियन सोसाइटी, और दे माइट आस्क यू politicization and casteization of politics. So definitely it is based on something which is happening in current scenario, but based on that they are asking you conceptual question. How do you get to know this? When you look at your PYQs. So it helps you telling the trends, it helps you telling the nature of question. It also tells me important themes. For example, I know without doubt tribal is their favorite topic. I know without doubt women is their favorite topic. Without doubt, I know there would be questions on globalization, there would be question on culture and diversity. आप PYQs उठा के देख लो. There has not been a single year where these questions have not been asked. How do I know that? Looking at PYQs. So when I know there are certain important themes, that does not mean I'll not prepare other themes. But I will put extra effort while preparing these important themes because possibility of asking the question is very high. Similarly, repeated question, nothing better than this. Their favorite question, compare the model of secularism of India with West. Exactly, they have repeated the question twice in GS paper 1. Once they asked the question what France can learn from Indian secularism, and this year they asked Indian secularism vis-a-vis US secularism. तो जब पता है पूछ रहे हैं तो इस आंसर को इतने अच्छे से तैयार करो कि जब दोबारा पूछें तो मार्क्स आपको ज्यादा मिले. So how do you get to know that there would be repeated question? I know they will ask impact of globalization on culture. Repeatedly 4 times they have asked. We will just see. Similarly, when you solve PYQs, you're able to prepare the framework. Trust me, you will get that confidence. जैसे मैं आपको एक छोटी सी बात बताती हूँ. How do you know you are on the right track? When you write mocks, ठीक है. Sometimes it happens that you're not able to write mocks. Sometimes it may happen that you're not scoring as per your expectation. The best indicator of your preparation is your PYQs. And if you're not able to write a detailed answer to all the PYQs, prepare the frameworks. Intro में ये लिख देंगे, body में ये लिख देंगे, ये conclusion होगा. And prepare those framework for every PYQ in past 10 years across all the papers, and I can guarantee that even if the paper is not similar to what it was asked before, your confidence level would be here. Because psychologically in your mind, you know that you are prepared for this examination. Is it making sense for everyone? Now, very quickly, let's just have a look at few of the questions where I just want to tell you that what you understand. Okay, just have a look at third question. Critically examine the effect of globalization on the aged population. Is this clear? Is it a direct question? It's a very simple question, do we agree? But एक छोटा सा चैलेंज है, 7 मिनट में लिखना होता है और उस टाइम पे अगर आप पहले से प्रिपेयर्ड नहीं हो तो आपको पॉइंट्स याद नहीं आते एंड यू एंड अप रिपीटिंग द पॉइंट्स और यू एंड अप राइटिंग समथिंग विच इज नॉट रेलिवेंट. तो सोसाइटी इज नॉट डिफिकल्ट इन टर्म्स ऑफ द कंटेंट, इट इज डिफिकल्ट इन टर्म्स ऑफ reproducing that content on the paper. So be prepared beforehand. Is it making sense? Similarly, look at the first question. Discuss various social problems which originated out of speedy process of urbanization in India. Is it a simple question? What are the social problems? I just wanted to tell you one thing here. Is urbanization a positive concept or a negative concept? Or a neutral concept? It's a positive concept. एक होता है ना connotation समझते हैं, positively connoted and negatively connoted. Urbanization is always seen as a sign of progress. It's a positively connoted term. But then they asked you what are the challenges in the process of urbanization. What I'm trying to tell you, always prepare the flip side of the concept. No matter how positive the concept is, prepare the negative aspect. No matter how negative the concept is, prepare the flip side. I'll give you an example. Is child labor positive or negative? Hands down it is negative. Abolishing child labor is positive or negative? Positive, hands down. You might get a question now, what are the negative implications of abolishing child labor? And that is one of the reasons why we are not able to abolish child labor. Did you get my point? So all I'm trying to say is when you are preparing a topic, prepare it from the argument as well as counter argument. It will just take 5 extra minutes, but always be prepared with the counter argument. Is it making sense for everyone? Okay. I'm generally asking, can we say traditionally we were joint family? And now we are moving towards nuclear family. Is everyone clear? Okay. Is there a possibility that again we are becoming joint? Can it be a counter argument? That not every family is nuclear? We are going back to the jointness. Why am I saying this is? Read the third question. Life cycle of a joint family. तो जॉइंट से न्यूक्लियर और न्यूक्लियर से जॉइंट, तभी तो लाइफ साइकिल पूरी होगी. सो वेयर यू स्टॉप थिंकिंग, यूपीएससी स्टार्ट्स आस्किंग द क्वेश्चन. सो ऑलवेज बी प्रिपेयर्ड फॉर द फ्लिप साइड. इज इट मेकिंग सेंस फॉर एवरीवन? I just want you to read one question. Read the first question. How does patriarchy impacts the position of middle class working women in India? Did UPSC ask the impact on women? No. What is the question? Impact on middle class working women. There is no scope of beating around the bush. They are not asking the impact on women. They are asking the impact कि middle class women पे क्या impact है और वो भी उस women पे जो कि working है. So you have to give them exact answers, and that is only possible when you understand what is that unique aspect about middle class. Why the question is about middle class? What are the challenges faced by working, educated women? Only then you can answer this question. That is why we say that society in itself is not difficult at all. It's just that the specific nature of the question and the time paucity might make it slightly challenging. Otherwise, it's an interesting paper. Is it making sense? Now, read the second question. I want to draw your attention to a fact. Why do some of the most prosperous region of India has adverse sex ratio? Do we have a habit of reading the data? Everyone has the habit, ठीक है? उस टाइम पे सेंसस का रिपोर्ट आया and it said there are some prosperous region, they gave the examples, but the sex ratio was adverse, less number of women as compared to men. Did UPSC ask you the data? They asked you the reason behind the data. Now, let me give you one more example to justify what I'm trying to say. Read the third question. How do you explain the statistics that show sex ratio in tribes is more favorable to women than sex ratio among scheduled caste? Again, data था census का कि sex ratio among scheduled caste is 945 and among scheduled tribes is 990. They did not ask you the data, they asked you the reason behind the data. All I'm trying to say is whenever you read your data, give yourself 5 to 10 minutes to analyze what are the causes behind the data and what is the possible implication of that data. What is the recent data that we have? National Family Health Survey report number 5. कुछ सुना है? NFHS report number 5 सुन लोगे, मतलब जब तैयारी शुरू करोगे तो मतलब कर भी दियोगे तो you will get to know about it. उसमें एक डेटा है that जो हमारा total fertility rate है that is now below the replacement level. Total fertility rate समझते हैं ना? So it is currently 2, which is below the replacement level. You might get a question, what are the factors responsible for decline in the fertility rate? Or you might get a question, what are the implications of decline fertility rate? तो question data पे नहीं आएगा और हम लोग सिर्फ data रटते हैं. डेटा तो चेंज होता रहेगा, डेटा पे क्वेश्चन नहीं आता है, डेटा क्यों है उस पे क्वेश्चन आता है. सो यू माइट गेट अ क्वेश्चन ऑन कॉज, यू माइट गेट अ क्वेश्चन ऑन इम्प्लीकेशन. इज इट मेकिंग सेंस फॉर एवरीवन? ठीक है. सो दीज आर द थिंग्स विच यू प्रिपेयर एज फार एज PYQs are concerned. Okay, let me give you one of the. Okay, read the first question. To what extent globalization has influenced the core of cultural diversity? Is it asking the question on the culture, globalization ka? ठीक है? Let me see if there is any other question which I want to show. Read the second question. Globalization is generally said to promote cultural homogenization, but due to this, cultural specificity appears to be strengthened. Again, is this a question of globalization and culture? So I told you that's their favorite question. They will ask you, and they have asked this question 2 times more. So now you have to identify the trend, the patterns which have been asked, and then you have to prepare. I wanted to show you one question before we proceed. Read the third question. The spirit of tolerance and love is not only an interesting feature of Indian society from very early times, but it is also playing an important part at present. Elaborate. Simple. Question 2017 mein tha, when in the current times, at that point of time, if you will Google, you will get to know, that was the time when there was a lot of debate about intolerance. People were feeling unsafe, they wanted to leave India and all that stuff. Then this question was asked. Okay, I told you, they might take the reference from the current times, but they might ask you something which is conceptual. Now read the question. The question is followed by a tail word which says elaborate. Elaborate का मतलब होता है assume the given statement to be true and then justify. Is there a scope of writing about intolerance in this question? You have to start from ancient India, medieval India, modern India, post-independence India, contemporary India, give one example and show how spirit of love and tolerance is always the unique characteristic feature of Indian society. अगर यही elaborate की जगह होता discuss, critically analyze, then you would have discussed both tolerance and intolerance. All I'm trying to tell you here is when you are preparing, please be very cautious of the tail words which are used in the question. That determines the expectation from the question. Is it making sense? So I am only taking those questions where I want to draw your attention that how one needs to be prepared.
Does the vast syllabus of general studies for the UPSC prelims overwhelm you to initiate your preparation for the civil services examination? Is your apprehension and self-doubt coming in the way of your success in joining the civil services? Comprehend your preparation for UPSC Prelims 2025 with the fast-track course targeting general studies with innovative curriculum, revision and mentorship. Starting from 19th November at 1 p.m, the course offers coverage of UPSC GS Prelims subjects, dedicated mentorship support and guidance for performance maximization, access to PT 365 classes for current affairs preparation, sectional mini tests for regular assessment and performance, personalized student portal to access study material, access to live and online classes. Enroll today and make prelims your stepping stone to proceed to the UPSC mains.
Let's just see 2019. Read the last question. Are we losing our local identity for the global identity? Do you see again it is the relationship between globalization and culture? So I told you they have again asked the question. Okay. Read the third question. It's an interesting thing. What are the challenges to our cultural practices in the name of secularism? Okay. We perceive secularism from a positive side. We always answer in that capacity. Okay. But sometimes in the name of secularism, there is a belief that certain cultural practices are getting challenged. UPSC ने ये नहीं पूछा to what extent you agree with the statement. उन्होंने नहीं पूछा critically examine the statement. उन्होंने ये नहीं पूछा comment on the statement. उन्होंने क्या पूछा what are the challenges. तो आपको बताना पड़ेगा. आप ये नहीं कह सकते नहीं there are no challenges. You have to tell what are the cultural challenges in the name of secularism. UPSC is very specific with respect to what they are asking. Is this very clear? Now, there would be some years, is this the year? No, ये नहीं था. There was this one particular year where you can, okay, read the fourth question. What is cryptocurrency? How does it affect the global society? Has it been affecting the Indian society also? Ab just because UPSC has asked this question does not mean you will start studying cryptocurrency in society. अगले दिन आपका इकोनॉमी का पेपर है. आप ये थोड़ी ना कहोगे कि मैंने इकोनॉमी के लिए क्रिप्टोकरेंसी पढ़ी थी, मैं एक दिन पहले आंसर नहीं लिखूंगी. First day you have GS paper 1 and 2, next day you have GS paper 3 and 4. All I'm trying to say is interdisciplinary nature. The question was from GS paper 3, but they asked in GS paper 1. So you have to be prepared for these situations. Then there is this paper 2023. Now read all the questions and tell me, do you see any common thread? Do you think marriage as a sacrament is losing its value? Explain why suicide among young women is increasing. Child cuddling is now being replaced by mobile phones. Impact on socialization. Does urbanization leads to segregation or marginalization of poor? Why is caste identity both fluid and static? Discuss the impact of post-liberal economy on ethnic identity and communalism. Is there any common thread that you notice under all the questions? Okay. Can all these questions be arranged under the heading Impact of Globalization on Indian Society? Did you get the point? घूम फिर के everything, उसका reason है. Do you agree to the fact no society is static? It will undergo a change, but that does not mean it will be completely changed. Some aspect may change, some aspect may continue. Now in that process, there are some factors of change. One of the major factor of change which has impacted our society, can I say, is globalization. क्योंकि ग्लोबलाइजेशन से ही इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन, ग्लोबलाइजेशन से ही अर्बनाइजेशन, ग्लोबलाइजेशन से ही टेक्नोलॉजी, ग्लोबलाइजेशन से ही मॉडर्न वैल्यू सिस्टम. आर यू गेटिंग द पॉइंट? ग्लोबलाइजेशन से ही एडिक्शन विथ मोबाइल फोन्स, ग्लोबलाइजेशन से ही सोशल मीडिया. नाउ ऑल दोज फैक्टर्स, नाउ यू रीड. Caste identities are undergoing change because of the influence of industrialization, urbanization, modern value system. But that does not mean caste has completely changed. So some aspect is still continuing, some aspect has underwent a change. Marriage is an institution. It was considered as a sacred institution. But in the backdrop of globalization, there has been commodification, consumerization, desacralization, jo bhi. So because of this, kahin na kahin marriage as an institution has lost the significance. Are you getting the point? Similarly, if you, ये तो directly question है, post-liberal economy का impact on ethnic identity and communalism. So somewhere deep down the line, globalization is a very important topic. But उन्होंने syllabus में क्या दिया? Discuss the impact of globalization on Indian society. Now, based on PYQs, you have to broaden the ambit. क्या इसके आधार पे मैं कह सकती हूँ? They might ask you, discuss the impact of globalization on institutions. Marriage, caste, family, media, education system. Can we say this? They might ask you the question, discuss the impact of globalization on sections. Women, child, youth. Remember that question on old age, tribals. They might ask you. And then the third section, discuss the impact of globalization on culture. अब ये कैसे पता चला कि ऐसे पढ़ना चाहिए? PYQs. So PYQs is your go-to thing. It will never ever disappoint you. Is it making sense for everyone? Once you know your PYQs, once you know your syllabus, make your notes. Deconstruct the syllabus, prepare your headings, and under the headings, prepare the content. If you have access to foundation classes, we'll cover everything. If you don't have access to foundation classes, you can create your own notes. आपको syllabus पता है? Based on PYQs, you can create different headings under the syllabus. Under the headings, you have to talk about the content, and to accentuate, matlab to make your content better, you can add data and examples to give credibility to your argument. This is how note making is done. Note making वो book से देख देख के copy करने को note making नहीं कहते हैं. Note making is always done when you are aware about the syllabus, you know what kind of PYQs are being asked, and this strategy will help you in your optional also. This is what is note making. Copying is not note making. Is it making sense for everyone? अब क्या होगा, एक बार notes बना लोगे, फिर क्या करना है? Let us suppose you read a newspaper. There is something new which has come, but I can talk about my subject. Society में ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता news में कि कुछ बहुत अलग बता देंगे. I have taught you, let us say, role of caste in politics. फिर अब वो कोई भी इलेक्शंस हो, द कॉन्सेप्चुअल थिंग रिमेन्स द सेम. ज्यादा से ज्यादा होगा एक नया एग्जाम्पल या डेटा मिल जाएगा, तो उसको आप स्टिकॉन्स पे लिखो और वहां जहां आपने नोट्स बनाए हैं वहीं पे जाके यू जस्ट पेस्ट इट. कंसोलिडेशन ऑफ द मटीरियल इन यूपीएससी इज रिक्वायर्ड, क्योंकि एट द टाइम ऑफ एग्जामिनेशन रिवाइजिंग वुड बिकम अ चैलेंज. सो लर्न टू कंसोलिडेट योर मटीरियल. इज इट मेकिंग सेंस फॉर एवरीवन? ठीक है. एंड फाइनली, I tell this in every class. Answer writing, answer writing, answer writing. Don't wait कि 6-7 महीने हो जाएं फिर answer writing करेंगे. You can start the answer writing after 1 week also. You read a good article in the newspaper. You create your own question and start writing the answer. क्या होगा? खराब ही तो लिखोगे at max. But then we have a very bad habit as far as answer writing is concerned. That is the attitude of procrastination. डिले करना, कल से पक्का लिखेंगे, अच्छा मंडे से पक्का लिखेंगे, बट वो आता नहीं है. आई टेल यू वन थिंग, देयर आर 2 प्रॉब्लम्स, 2 डिजीज कह लो. वन इज परफेक्शनिज्म एंड अदर इज प्रोक्रेस्टिनेशन, एंड बोथ विल नॉट टेक अस एनीवेयर. All that is required, there is only one cure to both the problems of perfectionism and procrastination, and that is action. Start performing your action. You will see you have stopped procrastinating, and you will not see that in some time you will be very close to what you think can be a good or a perfect answer, because there is nothing called perfectionism. बस इस नाम पर कि नहीं अच्छा जब लिखेंगे तब बहुत अच्छा लिखेंगे, हम कभी लिखते ही नहीं है. तो let's not do that mistake. ठीक है. एक तो स्ट्रैटेजी बता देती हूँ कैसे तैयारी करोगे, क्योंकि जो सब्जेक्ट्स हैं जैसे सोसाइटी हो गया, सोशल जस्टिस हो गया, इनके लिए कोई बुक नहीं है. देयर इज नो लक्ष्मीकांत, नो रमेश सिंह फॉर दीज बुक्स, दिस टॉपिक. तो हम क्या करेंगे, हम प्रीवियस ईयर के जो विजन के मॉक पेपर्स है ना, आई थिंक दैट इज अवेलेबल इन द मार्केट एंड एवरीथिंग, आप वो आंसर फॉर्मेट्स उठा लोगे. You will start preparing those topics. अब क्या होगा, either you know the answer to the question. Let us assume you don't know the answer to the question. You will read the answer format. You will extract the most important 3 to 4 points and you will prepare your content. So the best source of preparation is previous year mock papers of Vision IS test series. Many a times, in fact, I still remember, मैं तो पहले भी बोल चुकी हूँ, एक रील आई थी, वो किसी क्लास में मैंने बोला था, and I have said this before also, कि वो malnutrition is a silent assassin. It impacts not only the individual and the society because it creates an army of sick personnel. उसी साल अभी malnutrition और hunger पे सवाल आ गया. So what I'm just trying to tell you here is that these previous year mock papers will help you. मुझे कैसे हेल्प करते थे बता देती हूँ. We have a habit, vision में तो specially, we have a habit of asking statement based questions. वो स्टेटमेंट कभी यूपीएससी एग्जैक्टली नहीं पूछेगा, पूछ ले अच्छी बात है बट एग्जैक्ट नहीं पूछता. दैट स्टेटमेंट हेल्प्स मी टू राइट अ गुड इंट्रोडक्शन और अ कंक्लूजन ऑन दैट टॉपिक इन केस द क्वेश्चन कम्स. सो दैट इज समथिंग विच कम्स हैंडी. तो मेरा एफर्ट जो है ना वो रिड्यूस हो जाता है, मुझे ढूंढने की मेहनत नहीं करनी पड़ती. ऑल आई नीड इज कंसोलिडेशन. सेकेंड इज प्लीज रेफर टॉपर स्क्रिप्ट्स. अगर आपको 1% भी डाउट आ रहा है योर प्रिपरेशन इज गोइंग ऑन द राइट ट्रैक और नॉट, प्लीज रेफर टॉपर स्क्रिप्ट. उससे क्या होगा, एक यू विल गेट द इनसाइट what kind of writing is fetching marks, and second you will get the confidence that you are on the right track, and then practice writing. As much you write PYQs, it will give you that sense of confidence. This is basically because students ask which book to read. To be very honest, there is no book as far as society and social justice is concerned. I can tell you, if you have access to classroom notes, good enough for you. In case you don't have, तो जो Vision IS का value material है ना for Indian society and social justice, उसको पढ़ लेना, PYQs solve कर लेना, and at the time of your mains, जो वो mains 365 की booklet आती है ना, उससे current affairs update कर लेना. That's all. But focus should be on conceptual understanding and application of concept. You will not indulge in what is known as rote learning. Is it clear for everyone? ठीक है. Now, very quickly, a very small topic, social justice. बस यही syllabus है. issues related to health, education and human resource, issues related to poverty and hunger and vulnerable section. And based on my experience of, again, those 11 years and the kind of questions UPSC has asked, I'll give you one flowchart to make you understand. For example, अगर हम कोई भी vulnerable section उठाते हैं, let us suppose my vulnerable section is old age. First, I should know the statistics with respect to old age population. I should know the problems associated with old age. Then I will be talking about the government efforts in addressing those problems. It can be a constitutional effort, it can be the laws, it can be the policies. Overall, what needs to be done? And with respect to old age, there are some new concepts which are emerging. For example, longevity dividend. For example, the terms, new तो नहीं कहेंगे, but ये कह सकते हैं न्यूज़ में होते हैं. Ageism, silver economy, etc. Now, when you prepare it like this, it gives you a holistic preparation. With respect to every vulnerable section, there are some constitutional provision, there will be some act, and there will be some policies by the government. It has to be prepared. और ये current में ना भी हो तो भी आपको पढ़ना है. For example, there can be another vulnerable section, person with disability. आप ये नहीं कह सकते you are not prepared with the act. पढ़ना पड़ेगा. Similarly, there can be another vulnerable section, child. But child में तो और detail में पढ़ना पड़ेगा because there is some issue called child labor. There is another issue which is known as juvenile delinquency. There is another issue which is known as child marriage. There is another issue which is associated with children, that is problem of adoption. There is another issue which is emerging with respect to children, that is sexual. But जब ये topics पढ़ोगे तो किस heading में पढ़ोगे? What is child labor? Statistics of child labor, causes of child labor, implication of child labor, government efforts, lacunas and way forward. हर के अंदर ये heading बना लो. अभी लगेगा इतना पढ़ना, कुछ नहीं, मुश्किल से आधा घंटा लगता है. और अगर खुद से कंटेंट तैयार कर रहे हो तो डेटा उठा लेना गूगल से और बाकी कंटेंट उठा लेना चैट जीपीटी से. तो कोई बुराई थोड़ी ना है. आंसर लिखते वक्त चैट जीपीटी नहीं देखना है. कंटेंट लिखते वक्त, नोट्स बनाते वक्त चैट जीपीटी का रेफरेंस ले सकते हो. Is it making sense for everyone? ठीक है. So this is how the notes are prepared as far as this section is concerned. I have added the questions which have been asked in the past. So हर topic से, there are 3 broad topics, health, education, इन पे क्या questions आए हैं. Then I have added what are the questions which are related to poverty and hunger, and what are the questions which are related to vulnerable sections. I have added everything. Is it making sense for everyone? ठीक है. अपने experience से बता रही हूँ, ऐसा हो नहीं सकता that we can falter if you go through PYQs. I'll give you a basic idea. जैसे एक topic बस मैं idea दे देती हूँ. Let us suppose there is a question or topic of education. Let us say, what do you mean by quality education? What are the tiers of education system? Within those tiers, you can prepare it as primary, secondary and higher education. और आज के टाइम पे, rather than preparing it like this, you can prepare it as early childhood care and education, school education and higher education. Now, when you are preparing these topics, then what is the current status of higher education in India? What are the problems associated with higher education? What are the government efforts with respect to higher education? What are the lacunas in those efforts? And what should be my way forward? ऐसा हो नहीं सकता कि आपका कंटेंट नहीं तैयार हो. And then you can prepare sustainable development goal number 4. Goal number 1 related to poverty. Goal number 2 hunger. 3rd health. 4th education. Sustainable development goal आपके टिप्स पे होने चाहिए. उसका रीजन है इट कम्स टू योर रेस्क्यू मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम. और जब हम पढ़ते हैं तो कैसे पढ़ते हैं? फर्स्ट, व्हाट इज द गोल? विद इन द गोल व्हाट आर द targets? To what extent we have achieved those targets? What are the shortcomings? Obviously not all the targets are achieved, hence what needs to be done. Sustainable development goal कब introduce किया गया था? अगले साल क्या है? कितने साल हो रहे हैं? They might ask you that after 10 years, what is the status with respect to achievement of the targets of sustainable development goals? Or they might ask you specific goal, poverty, hunger, health, education, gender equality, whatsoever it is. Is this very clear? और यहाँ पर आता है contemporary topics. जैसे contemporary topics का मतलब होता है ये हमें मिलते हैं मेंस 365, जैसे कि vocational education, similarly digital education or learning, similarly privatization of education, similarly value based education. So this is how the entire topic of education has to be prepared, and trust me, you will not falter, provided we have decent content and we have practiced answer writing. Is it making sense? With respect to social justice, absolutely no source. कोई किताब नहीं है. आप अपने करंट अफेयर्स को फॉलो करो. एक बार ये ब्रॉड फ्लो चार्ट बना लो, अंडर दीज ब्रॉड हेडिंग्स एक बेसिक कंटेंट तैयार कर लो, एंड आफ्टर दैट कीप ऑन एडिंग एनी इंपॉर्टेंट डेटा, एनी इंपॉर्टेंट एग्जाम्पल. अच्छा, यहाँ पे ना एग्जाम्पल्स बहुत मैटर करते हैं. Some domestic examples, some international examples which you can quote, which can be replicated to improve your educational system or your healthcare system or overall human capital formation, to prepare those examples. Focus more on value addition in good manner, provided the basic content is ready. Is it making sense for everyone? ठीक है? So this is with respect to the strategy as far as Indian society and social justice is concerned. Do you have any questions? Are you clear with the syllabus? Are you clear with the kind of questions which UPSC has been asking in the past? Okay. In fact, I'll tell you something. In 2015, there was a question on Millennium Development Goals. और वो expected question था. उन्होंने पूछा with respect to health. क्योंकि Millennium Development Goals खत्म हो रहे थे. उसी साल से तो Sustainable Development Goals आए ना. ठीक है, तो we were expecting. हमें ये नहीं पता था health पे पूछेंगे, but हमें ये पता था Millennium Development Goals का analysis पूछ सकते हैं. Similarly, हमें ये पता था कि अब सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल्स बेस्ड ऑन दैट एक्सपीरियंस इज अ वेरी प्रोबेबल टॉपिक. तो उन्होंने पूछ लिया. नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी आई थी, सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल नंबर 4. उन्होंने क्वेश्चन क्या पूछा? टू व्हाट एक्सटेंट प्रोविजंस ऑफ नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी विल हेल्प यू अचीविंग द टारगेट्स ऑफ सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल नंबर 4. दोनों न्यूज में है, बस सेपरेटली नहीं पूछ के दोनों का कॉम्बिनेशन पूछ लिया. अब आप आगे से हमेशा प्रिपेयर्ड रहोगे इस तरह के क्वेश्चंस के लिए, बिकॉज यू हैव गॉन थ्रू योर PYQs. इज इट क्लियर? यू वर आस्किंग मी समथिंग. हाँ हाँ, देखो बेसिक चीजें, अगर हम कभी भी बात करें सोसाइटी की, ठीक है, आई टेल यू हाउ आई स्टार्टेड टीचिंग, दैट वुड आंसर योर क्वेश्चन बेटर. I was not a born teacher, ठीक है. So when I started my journey as a teacher, I always have these things in mind कि अगर मैं ये टॉपिक पढ़ाने जा रही हूँ तो बच्चा मुझसे क्या क्या सवाल पूछ सकता है. तो जब आप अपनी पढ़ाई शुरू कर रहे हो तो आप ये सोच लो UPSC आपसे क्या क्या सवाल पूछ सकता है. मैं ये नहीं कह रही फर्स्ट डे से आ जाएगा, बट 1-2 months into the preparation, going through PYQs, looking at the syllabus, कहीं ना कहीं एक बेसिक आइडिया लगने लगता है कि कुछ बेसिक से सवाल हैं और वो अक्रॉस द स्पेक्ट्रम होते हैं. What is the concept? what is the statistics, what are the causes, what are the implication, what are the government efforts हैं तब भी वो problem है क्योंकि कुछ कमी है, there are some lacunas, and once those lacunas have to be solved, then what needs to be done? Basic understanding. तो flowchart will fall into place. अब जैसे education है, हमने सोचा कैसे सवाल पूछ सकते हैं, तो यूपीएससी ऑलरेडी प्राइमरी एजुकेशन पे सवाल पूछ चुका है, यूपीएससी स्कूल एजुकेशन पे पूछ चुका है, वैल्यू बेस्ड एजुकेशन पे पूछ चुका है. सो नाउ यू हैव एन आइडिया दैट दिस इज हाउ दे माइट आस्क यू द क्वेश्चन. अब जैसे टॉपिक है पावर्टी, क्या क्या पता होना चाहिए? व्हाट इज पावर्टी, स्टेटिस्टिक्स विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू पावर्टी, अप्रोच टू पावर्टी, वो नहीं बोलते हैं एब्सोल्यूट पावर्टी और रिलेटिव पावर्टी. फिर इकोनॉमी में नहीं पढ़ते हो हाउ टू मेजर पावर्टी. फिर एक बेसिक क्वेश्चन जो स्कूल से पढ़ते आ रहे हैं, कॉजेज ऑफ पावर्टी. फिर इम्प्लीकेशन ऑफ पावर्टी, गवर्नमेंट एफर्ट, जब से इंडिपेंडेंस मिली है गवर्नमेंट यही तो एफर्ट कर रही है टू एलिविएट पावर्टी, डिस्पाइट दैट पावर्टी इज स्टिल एग्जिस्टिंग. व्हाट आर द लैक्यूनास, व्हाट नीड्स टू बी डन. तो ये तो स्टैंडर्ड है. So you just have to focus what might be the question which UPSC can ask, and that will only happen when we have gone through PYQs. ये standard तरीका होता है. Is there any other question? Period of time. Analytical skills basically na asking questions. Don't take anything on the face value. If somebody is saying that old age population is growing, it will be a burden. Don't take it on a face value. Why it will be burden? And will it always be a burden? No, there might be a possibility that if we make them skilled, if we generate employment opportunities, then instead of acting as a liability, they might act as an asset. So now the question arises, what kind of opportunities can be generated for the old age people? Has government not, अगर मैं और तुम ये बात सोच पा रहे तो क्या गवर्नमेंट ने कभी नहीं सोची होगी across the years? So government might have done something to generate opportunities for them. Despite that, they are not able to reap the benefits, maybe because they are not aware about those opportunities. Hence, what should be done to make them aware? Loud thinking karo. Sawal pucho. Start asking the question. The more you ask the question, the more you develop what is known as critical thinking. Don't take anything on the face value. लोग कहते हैं वर्किंग एज पॉपुलेशन में बल्ज आया है, डेमोग्राफिक डिविडेंड की सिचुएशन है. पूछो ना, बल्ज क्यों आया? ये फेवरेबल सिचुएशन क्यों है? Will it always be favorable? No, it can turn into a disaster if your working age population is not educated, skilled. Then what needs to be done to make them educated, skilled and healthy? Let us suppose you are educated also, skilled also, healthy also, but then I don't have a job for you. So then I have to create job opportunities. So which are those sectors where job opportunities can be created? Loud thinking. पढ़ने में मजा आने लगेगा क्योंकि फिर आपके पास हर चीज का जवाब होगा. सो दैट इज हाउ द प्रिपरेशन हैज टू बी डन. ठीक है, एनी अदर क्वेश्चन? हाउ टू इवैल्यूएट द आंसर? सी, इफ यू आर अ पार्ट ऑफ सम मेंटरशिप एंड ऑल, देन तो इट इज ओके, बट इफ यू हैव टू डू द सेल्फ इवैल्यूएशन, आई विल टेल यू समथिंग. लीव इट फॉर अ डे, राइट द आंसर, लीव इट फॉर अ डे, नेक्स्ट डे रीड द क्वेश्चन and then read the answer and see whether it is answering the question. क्योंकि आप डिफेंसिव मोड पे नहीं होगे, क्योंकि एक आध दिन बाद आप खुद भूल जाओगे आपने एग्जैक्टली ये लिखा क्यों था. तो यू विल नॉट बी ऑन द डिफेंसिव मोड एंड यू विल बी इन अ बेटर पोजिशन टू आंसर दैट द आंसर इज रेलिवेंट टू द क्वेश्चन और नॉट. इज दिस क्लियर? ठीक है, एनी अदर क्वेश्चन? हाँ, एनी वन सोर्स, एनी वन सोर्स. मतलब फॉर एग्जाम्पल, if you are referring to newspaper, then it is one thing. If you are referring to any particular government website for all the content, then refer to that only. Or you are referring to, let us say, monthly magazines or something, but refer to one source. अगर कोई रिपोर्ट है, जैसे सपोज करो मैं बात करूं पॉवर्टी की है, आप सोर्स चेंज कर लो, डेटा चेंज हो जाता है. आप सेक्स रेशियो की बात कर लो, आप वायलेंस अगेंस्ट विमेन की बात कर लो, आप सोर्स चेंज कर दो, डेटा चेंज हो जाता है. तो कितना डेटा हम याद करेंगे? तो हम एक सोर्स याद करेंगे और उसका एक डेटा याद करेंगे, और मेंस में हम सोर्स के साथ डेटा लिखेंगे. दैट इज हाउ वी हैव टू डू इट. बिकॉज यार इतना नहीं याद हो सकता. मतलब मुझे तो फिर भी एक दो सब्जेक्ट्स पढ़ाने हैं, आपको तो कई सब्जेक्ट्स पढ़ने हैं. हाउ मच विल यू रिमेंबर? एंड डेटा पे यूजुअली क्वेश्चंस नहीं आते, ट्रेंड्स पे आते हैं. सबके लिए बोल रहे हैं. इकोनॉमी में डेटा की वैल्यू थोड़ी ज्यादा होती है। यार कमी तो हमेशा रहेगी, मुकम्मल जहां तो किसी को नहीं मिलता, तो तैयारी में कमी हमेशा रहेगी, बट हमें वो परफेक्शनिज्म चाहिए ही नहीं। बेस्ट हो भी नहीं सकता, नहीं हमें बेस्ट करना ही नहीं। बेस्ट होता तो फिर इसका कट ऑफ 90% होता, 40-45% पे टॉप 50 में रैंक है। Why do you want to be best? That depends upon the presentation, and that will come with time. For that we'll conduct another session in which we'll discuss answer writing के trends कि अच्छा introduction कैसे लिखना है, बॉडी कैसे लिखनी है, डायग्राम्स कैसे डालने हैं, फ्लो चार्ट्स कैसे डालने हैं, ग्राफ कैसे बनाना है, पाई चार्ट्स वगैरह कैसे डाल सकते हैं। सो ऑल ऑफ दैट इज व्हाट मेक्स योर आंसर यूनिक। डेटा को रटने से थोड़ी ना यूनिकनेस आएगी। इकोनॉमी के पेपर में डेटा की वेटेज है, आई विल नॉट डिनाई दैट, और सोसाइटी में एक आध आर्ग्यूमेंट्स को क्रेडिबिलिटी देने के लिए डेटा की इंपॉर्टेंस है, दिस आई विल नॉट डिनाई, बट अदर देन दैट just what you can do very comfortably, do that much. Don't take that stress. It's okay. मतलब there's nothing called best answer. और वही मैं कह रही हूँ ना, perfectionism के चक्कर में ना it takes a toll on your mental health. Let's just not do it. Let's go with the flow. ठीक है? Can we wind up the session? ठीक? चल, हाँ बोल। ठीक है। Since you have time, I would just suggest कि optional और GS को divide कर लो, मतलब एक साथ मत join करना, because you have 2 years at your disposal. So I would suggest if you are joining your GS, then complete your optional, or complete your optional and then do your GS, so that whatever you are doing it properly. तो बस वही है. So now you have to take that call, that first you have to do your optional का तैयारी and then you have to join the GS preparation, or you have to do your GS preparation first or then do your optional. So that is how it is. ना ना बिल्कुल भी नहीं, सिर्फ करंट अफेयर्स ही तो है, और करंट अफेयर्स यूपीएससी भी नहीं होता कि एक ही साल का करंट पूछता है, वो 3 साल पुरानी खबर पूछ लेगा, उसे खुद नहीं डिफाइन कर रखा कि करंट क्या है। और बेसिक कंटेंट ऑलवेज रिमेन्स द सेम, ना कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन बदलने वाला है, बस एक आध जो अमेंडमेंट्स आए होंगे वो तैयार कर लेना, प्रोवाइडेड यूपीएससी का पैटर्न नहीं चेंज हो। अगर वो चेंज नहीं होता तो कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता। ठीक है, चलो। सो हाँ, अरे ये मेरे टाइम से न्यूज़ है, जब हटा देंगे तब हटा देंगे। हाँ, हाउ टू चूज ऑप्शनल सब्जेक्ट? See, there are 2-3 factors. One is the interest. Matlab, I'll tell you the criteria. Why did I choose a particular optional subject? One was I read the NCERTs, and there was some optional which I felt like visiting those NCERTs again. Matlab, it was generating some curiosity in the mind. So that is one thing. क्योंकि बहुत लंबा पढ़ना होता है, अगर बिल्कुल इंटरेस्ट नहीं है तो बहुत मुश्किल हो जाता है। ठीक है, एंड आई सेड दिस बिफोर ऑल्सो इन वन ऑफ द सेशंस कि मैंने ज्योग्राफी पढ़ने की कोशिश करी थी, मुझसे नहीं पढ़ा गया, तो मुझे लगा यार, और सब ले रहे थे क्योंकि बहुत पॉपुलर ऑप्शनल था उस टाइम पर, बट नहीं पढ़ा गया मुझसे, तो मैंने नहीं लिया। बट सोशियोलॉजी पढ़ के, पबैड पढ़ के, इट वॉज जनरेटिंग सम इंटरेस्ट, सो आई वॉन्टेड टू कंटिन्यू विद दैट। दैट्स वन थिंग। सेकेंड थिंग ऑल्सो मैटर्स इज इंटरेस्ट अपनी जगह। अगर वो ऑप्शनल अब मार्क्स नहीं ला रहा है, या उस ऑप्शनल से सिलेक्शन रेट कम हो रखा है, एंड देयर आर 2 ऑप्शनल्स इन विच यू आर कंफ्यूज, देन गो विद द ऑप्शनल विच इज स्लाइटली पॉपुलर। और तीसरी चीज, अवेलेबिलिटी ऑफ द कंटेंट। Sometimes optional is good, you are generating interest also, but then the guidance is not available, or let us say the content is not available in the market. तो ऐसा नहीं आप clear नहीं कर सकते, but then efforts बढ़ जाते हैं। So the first criteria is interest, second criteria is whether it will help you, because देखो at the end of it आपको उस optional में कोई knowledge वो तो करना, वो तो पूरी जिंदगी पड़ी है। What you want is basic minimum 260+, क्योंकि अगर 260+ से नीचे होते हैं तो फिर और सब्जेक्ट्स में कितने भी नंबर आ जाएं बहुत मुश्किल होता है क्वालिफाई करना, तो एक बेसिक मिनिमम 260+ चाहिए। तो यू हैव टू सी वेदर योर ऑप्शनल विल हेल्प यू फेच 260+ और नॉट। दिस इज बेसिक मिनिमम, अदरवाइज द क्राइटेरिया हैज टू बी 275+। ठीक है, एंड थर्ड थिंग इज अवेलेबिलिटी ऑफ द कंटेंट। दैट्स ऑल। ठीक है।